Grand Rising, my everythings. I hope that you all are doing well. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you would like to get notified anytime that new reads are being posted, please feel free to subscribe and also hit that notification bell so that you can get those notifications anytime that new reads are being posted, okay? This read is going to be for Aries. Aries, I'm seeing that you may be like getting more in tune, or your ego is getting more in tune with your spirit animal. So you may be seeing like a lot of animals, like one specific animal, but you may be seeing like it all the time, and that's your spirit animal trying to send you a message. Depending on what it is, make sure that you look that up, or even if you don't indulge in the information that other people associate with those spirit animals, right? Focus on and take note of what you are thinking about at the time that you see that specific animal that you're always seeing, because then you recognize the difference between your ego self and the message that your spirit animal is trying to send you. The reason why it's your spirit animal is because it's in alignment with, like, it's like a phone line, like a spiritual call line or whatever, right? And you're connected to these, the way that you're able to see or have visualization of this animal. And every time that it comes around, when you are thinking about a certain thing, and you'll recognize that it's consistent with when you think about a certain thing or when you have a certain feeling. And every time that you have that feeling and you see that animal, that's the association of what that animal is trying to tell you, okay? I hope that I explained that well. As I get wiser in my bright young age, I will become more wise in being able to explain these kinds of things better. I think that that's why, you know, I'm still here on earth, because I'm just learning how to explain things better to others externally, what's going on within, right? Okay, so I am seeing that there are like vacations. So maybe you went on a trip, or you're about to go on a trip or a vacation, and you're seeing this animal. Maybe it's something that like you used to resonate with when you were younger, and now as an adult you resonate with. I'm just getting that like kind of energy off of the cycle of your read, or like a certain animal that you resonate with, okay? So take it as it resonates. No pressure. I am seeing that spirit itself is trying to send you a message by the way of the experiences that you've been having during the cycle of this read. One of those things is speaking out. Aries have no issue with expressing themselves, and if you are having issues with expressing yourself or speaking out, maybe it's spirit trying to tell you that your voice is released by the way that you express yourself frankly, okay? Maybe you're going through a time period where you're like trying to find a better way to say certain things, because you realize that you're a projector of what it is that you experience within your reality. And if you're always projecting and speaking out negative things, then surely, right? So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Is that spirit is definitely saying like speaking out, using your voice. You could be singing as well, or you could be rapping. However it is that you express yourself, that could be one of those things that spirit is trying to be like. Speaking out is definitely essential, and it's one of those things that you're learning and you're becoming more in tune with throughout the cycle of this read. And I'm seeing that it's for your good, okay? Then I'm seeing self-knowledge. Self-knowledge, being aware of self. Spirit is saying to dive into the depths of who it is and what you are. This is where your truth resides. That being in alignment with you feeling comfortable and safe and secure and confident enough to speak out into your reality certain things that are your truth. This is what spirit is doing, okay? And And then I'm also seeing great mystery. Spirit is saying that I reveal the wisdom of your destiny. So within your knowledge of true self, as you are going within and you are learning about yourself, you're also experiencing that great mystery of what your destiny is, by the way of you confirming and affirming with the universe and speaking out into existence your true self. Okay? What you deserve. You know what I'm saying? All of that good stuff. So I am also seeing that the soul is teaching the spirit of true self some lessons. Now you may be teetering and tottering between two different directions. And that's okay if that's what's happening. So I'm also seeing that you could be pulling energy or wind in from one direction and then it being transmuted out in a different direction. So take it as it resonates. I am seeing winds coming from the eastern and the western wind for the cycle of this read, though like I always say, my reads are based on the fullness of time. So I have what's going on now, what's been going on in the past, and I can also give you some information about what's going to happen in the future, okay? Though it is all based on time that has been offered to me for me to be able to share the message with you. So if there is some eastern and some western wind that I do speak on, it could have been something in the past, it could have been, usually the winds are talking about stuff that's going on during the cycle of the read, not necessarily what's going to happen in the future. So let's just see what it says, okay? So you have some eastern wind where the soul has been teaching the spirit of true self a lesson about perception. Yeah, perception with the eastern wind. And the perception that you're gauging or gathering from the cycle of this read is mirrors. And considering the fact that the ego is like getting in tune with the spirit animal, it's interesting how your reality can reflect upon you. Usually when we talk about reflections, we speak of things like mirrors, right? And sometimes animals can, we can be a reflection of those animals, as we have similar characteristics and traits with a lot of animals. And though that also could be vice versa, right? So with your spirit animal speaking out, the great mystery and the depth of who it is that you are, you're getting in tune with your self-knowledge and your self-awareness by the way of this perception of these mirrors, what it is that you see, and all that connects to what it is that you see, because is that who you really are, or is that just, and the thing about animals is we only see what we see in their behavior, what they look like, though do we know what they're thinking unless we're spiritually connected to them, right? Or they're sending us spiritual message, or they're guiding us or reassuring us. And that's why I say one of those things about the spirit animals is, what is it that you are thinking about every time that you see this animal that brings you that awareness? Because that's that spirit animal sending you that message, okay? I hope that it makes sense. And then I'm also seeing more of the eastern wind with the perception, where spirit is, I'm seeing that you learned a lesson about rushing in. Maybe you were reflecting upon someone or projecting upon someone certain things, or someone was doing that to you. And spirit is just saying, like, don't rush in. I'm also seeing that someone could have gotten like a speeding ticket. So it could be surface level where it was a speeding ticket, or spirit is, you went through that lesson of learning not to rush in. In so many different ways, the reality coincides with certain experiences because there are multiple layers to the reality. So take it as it resonates, my love. Then I'm seeing that you also have some western wind influencing your experiences during the cycle of this read. With that western wind, the soul is teaching the spirit of true self a lesson about the process of Mars. So with the soul teaching the spirit of true self a lesson about the process of Mars, Mars goes through an orbital cycle every 4 years. And Mars influences the experiences. Is it 4 or 2? It's 4. Yeah. So Mars goes through an orbital cycle every 4 years, right? And Mars influences our experiences, our knowledge, our awareness, our intelligence that is associated with responsibilities and politics. Okay? So, take that as it resonates. I am seeing that during the cycle of this read, Mars is something that you're learning about with the Western wind and how it influences things that are happening in your life. Specifically, your responsibilities, like how strongly you're being pulled to them, and recognize that the cycles that you go through every 4 years, and like the peaks, the highs, the lows when it comes to your responsibilities, and bring that full circle for yourself. Okay, speaking of full circle, we have the energy of wedding rings. So the energy of wedding rings is coming through. There's a union, some type of marriage, a soul connection, everlasting love and devotion. Usually people that gather a sense of responsibility in a relationship want to prove their devotion to someone by getting married and, you know, acknowledging their commitment. So that could be one of those things. And then I'm also seeing love. So with the love energy, it is a representation of unconditional love, having love for self, being grounded in wholeness, balance, having affection and attraction, and being rooted in selflessness, not selfishness. You care about the other person. You make space and time for the other person to be in your heart, to have consideration in your mind. Okay? Then I'm seeing the runner. So don't know if that's your energy or the other person's energy, so take it as it resonates. I'm seeing a fear of intimacy where there was someone running away, intensity and letting go, some type of turmoil and fleeting. And if that's what you experienced, it's okay that you were going through that process, being able to heal from that process, learning about yourself with the self-knowledge energy by the way of the spirit of self. Think about it with animals. Even as they may want to be connected to us, sometimes they don't got, you know, a good knowledge or awareness or history of, you know, interactions with people, or vice versa, right? And sometimes an animal may flee away from you before it even recognizes that you're harmless, or you may do the same thing. I know people do that a lot with, what is it? Raccoons or whatever those, or possums or whatever those animals are. I remember I was packing and moving one day, and there was a possum like right near our building. We were getting ready to go on an assignment, and you know, it did that little thing where like, yeah, and it kind of scares you, though I'm just so in tune that I just complimented it, because you know, people usually say, like, we're programmed to be like, oh my gosh, it's so ugly, it's so scary, and I was like, look at you, you're so cute. And it was just like, you know, it was calm. And even though people are like, however, they have reservations about possums, I don't know what they say about possums other than like they talk bad about possums, and I'm just like projecting. I understand you, I respect you. For some reason you're here and you're observing me while I'm doing my own thing, and you're doing your own thing, and we're just not frustrating or irritating or like trying to bother each other, that we also acknowledge each other. So it's just like, I respect you, you respect me. You were probably here way before I was, so it's cool. And that was just like the kind of acknowledgement that, you know, that I guess Spirit is talking about, because the great mystery of who you are reveals to you your destiny. And the reality of it is, no matter how many accomplishments we have or what we experience, and you know, we assign to as achievements when it comes to love, we just want to be at peace. And you know that that's true because of your nature when you were most vulnerable. And even as you have grown into your own, and you've grown wiser and more familiar with how to survive within your environment, that one rudimentary fact about your vulnerability as a human being will always remain true. And you just want to feel safe, right? Okay. And so even if that's in the company of others or if it's just you by yourself, that's why the spirit of true self is always seeking security, and the ego self seeks security as well, though it's a different kind of security, right? The ego seeks security in like who it is that you are externally, and the spirit of true self seeks security in who it is that you are spiritually. And they both have to be in alignment with prioritizing the wellness of your soul. And that's why you get assigned to learn these lessons, okay? So I'm seeing love call, to bring it full circle. And with the love call, it's someone expressing love, sending a message of love, thinking of you, or just informing you, that they care about you, they love you, okay? So, if you're not familiar with how it is that I do my reads, I do them based on time that has been offered or is available to me for me to be able to share the message with you. So thank you. The time that have been offered to me, good little amount, is the Hierophant card. The Hierophant card is associated with having power and dominion and influence in decision making, right? It's also someone that's usually perceived as like counsel or head of household in certain situations. It is someone that is devoted and usually in like a spiritual sense, so other people look up to you for that kind of guidance. I'm also seeing the Five of Pentacles reverse. With the Five of Pentacles reverse, thank you, that's also like having the ability and the energy to move past or get over whatever losses of value that you've experienced in the past. Then I'm also seeing the Devil card reverse, which is a representation of God source energy being in alignment with releasing the suffering, the contracts that were not so great, all of that kind of stuff. So thank you. Then the energy that it's being received as feminine, attractive, cute, adorable, womanly, ladylike, soft. People associate being soft with femininity, and not overpowering or addictive or aggressive or anything like that. So thank you. Then the energy that I'm seeing you in is the Eight of Rods. So with the Eight of Rods energy, you have all of the energy that you need to be able to fulfill what is required of you during the cycle of this read. And what I mean by that is like you've gone through whatever it is that you've gone through. Obviously there's some growth happening, and at the same time it's not exhausting you to get this inner work done. Sometimes doing the inner work can feel like though I'm seeing that with the Eight of Rods energy, it's like you've gone through everything that you've gone through and you've grown from it in a way that you are more empowered, okay? So with this energy that you're in during the cycle of this read, I'm also seeing you coming through as virtuous. Like I'm seeing like a virtuous immortality, and then also non-violent. So take it as it resonates. So in the past position during the cycle of this read, I am seeing that you were in a karmic relationship, okay? So I did pull some angel cards to give some insight as to the reason why it is that you were going through what it is that you were going through, because I also did see that there is an end to a karmic cycle that was happening that had to do with the relationship. So it's only so take it as it resonates. The relationship was filled with resentment and triggers, some type of perception, maybe negativity, based on what you were speaking out into existence. Maybe you were in a relationship with someone where you were projecting like negative things to that person because you were programmed to respond in that kind of way. So definitely not judging you. You know, we're a product of our environment, and that's not an excuse, that's a reason. There's a difference, right? So I'm also seeing that there was like some intensity, maybe, yeah, like triggers, and then responding with intensity, wanting to let go, feeling like you needed to let go, some type of turmoil and fleeting. There could have been abuse and like disrespect going on back and forth between you and that person. Like I said, it was a karmic relationship. So what I'm seeing is 10 of rods. With the 10 of rods, that's a representation of like the end of, especially for the position that it's in during the cycle of the read, is showing that that cycle has come to an end. Like the 10 of rods is someone that's feeling like overburdened, like taking on a lot, being overwhelmed by that karmic relationship. Like I said, I was seeing karmic relationships, so it's just showing me like that it was overwhelming. You were overburdened by what you were going through in a relationship, and yeah, maybe you got like lazy in taking care of yourself, or the way that you take care of yourself, or that other person got lazy in the way that, I'm just seeing like something about like you being able to get over that karmic relationship. It could have even been like your relationship with yourself, like being overburdened, or so take it as it resonates. Though I am seeing that because you were willing to let go, it helped you be able to prioritize like your physical wellness and health. Okay. And I'm seeing that like you're ready. It was time for you to do that. Okay. With that angel energy, it's like you're ready to let it go. You're ready to not be holding on to those burdens or those negative emotions or like that overbearing energy. Okay. And then I'm seeing that you were in this 9 of Swords energy where you felt disappointed. And it was a time for you to be courageous and to choose life, is what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing that that was a time for you to pray, or that's a time where you did pray, because it says to ask your angels. I love these cards. They're so beautiful. So it's telling you that it was time for you to, like I said, pray, because you experienced some type of disappointment, and being able to let go of those negative aspects of self, or whatever you projected onto the other person in a negative way, that you went to your angels, you went to God, and you had to be brave, right? Sacrificing or letting go of your attachment to your ego. That's why I said sacrificing, because nobody really desires to always let go of their ego, especially when they want to be right. Okay? So that's just what I'm seeing. Like someone that you may have like even broken down a little bit, or like got really sad because you were disappointed, and Spirit is saying like that's when it was time for you to be brave and to go to your angels and to ask your angels to help guide you, and then to trust God. Okay. And so I'm seeing with it that you were in the 8 of Cups energy where you were emotional. It was emotional for you. You were being received as like cold-hearted a little bit, though at the same time, you got a lot of wisdom out of going through that transformation, that time to go within and understand what your real calling is, okay? And I'm seeing that that was also healthy for you to be in that energy, to like let go of your negative emotions and to be able to heal properly. And, you know, especially if that runner energy was you, like being able to heal from that fear of intimacy and always feeling the need to run away, letting go of that. Because sometimes we feel like we got power. It's like a false sense of power to be like, I could go, I could leave, and, you know, I could leave that person on red, or I don't gotta worry about that person. And that gives me the power, because they don't have power over me, da da da. And it's like, the fact that you're even thinking about doing that, it's kind of like, you know? So it goes hand in hand when it's time to pray. Because is this a weakness or is it a strength of mine? And is it something that I really even need to be proving to someone else? Or, you know, am I being true to myself? Okay? So then I'm seeing towards the end of the cycle of the read, the Page of Pentacles energy. With that Page of Pentacles energy, it is showing me that someone is getting some type of time back. Like you're getting some type of money back, some type of time back. It's just like everything is okay. Don't worry about it. So as far as like finances, or if you feel like, you know how people when they're in a relationship and they're like, oh, I spend money on this, I spend money on that, I bought you this, I bought you that, and it's like, you can have all that stuff back, like I'm cool on it. That kind of energy. Or it could even be like money that you invested in that person, like that person is giving you that money back or something like that, right? So with the Page of Pentacles, that's what I'm seeing, like getting some type of money back, some type of financial opportunity back, something like that. And then I'm seeing that you're getting this because you've done the work, right? And it's coming through as like a relaxing type of energy. You're going to be like exciting, and yeah, I'm just seeing that like you get an exciting energy back. Like I said, during the cycle of this read, it's showing me that you went through whatever it is that you were going through, and you had to go through that so that you could transform the way that you process your emotions and the disappointments that you experience in your life. Like, how are you going to respond whenever you are disappointed? And is that going to align with that other person or those other people draining your energy? Or is it going to result in you becoming more empowered and learning more about yourself and becoming more wise in the way that you can respond to average human behavior? Not projecting that all humans are going to be flawed, because how many times are we going to keep saying that, right? And the reality of it is, you are a projector. And what it is that you speak out into your reality, and however it is that you feel in your heart and in your mind, if you need to sacrifice the entitlement of always having to be above, you know, someone because you got more money or because of this or because of that, then, and you make space and time for them, especially if it's somebody that you love and care about, it shouldn't be hard to make space and time for them, to want to forgive them, right? It's not that you want them to have power over you. You are sacrificing all of that weird pride to make space in, that you've inherited, to make space and time to love and honor and consider the feelings of someone else, okay? So I'm just seeing that you went through like a whole cycle of growth, and that is what intimacy is. That vulnerability of self, and making space and time for that other person to occupy, regardless of your selfish ways, pretty much. So you grew. Then I'm also seeing the emotions and the specific messages that are associated with the overall read, and then we'll talk about your future. So the emotions, right? For you to remain kind. These are the emotions that you were meant to grow from and transcend into, being able to transmute these energies and these emotions. For you not to feel inferior, right? Or for you not to want to make other people feel inferior. For you to be sensitive. I'm pretty sure that when you got disappointed, or you went through that emotional hurdle, or you let go of all of those burdens or baggage that you were carrying, there had to be some sensitivity in all of that, right? For you not to be upset, for you not to be anxious, for you not to feel miserable. And like I said, this is a reading that I'm able to do based off of energy. And like I said, thank you for offering me the energy for me to be able to do this reading for you. Though what I'm really seeing is that you're in that Eight of Rods energy. So it was all for you to be able to have the energy that you need to be able and capable of doing what it is that you feel like you are called to do in this life, okay? Moving on to the future. So the first thing that I see for you in the future is this Four of Rods energy. This Four of Rods energy represents like an aha moment, like look at what we made, right? It's a card that signifies foundation and growth. Like I say, you grew. So this could come from like self-reflection. This could come from you expressing love to someone with that love call energy, or someone expressing that to you. I am seeing that you're being received as trustworthy and reliable, honorable, and it's not like in a cheesy or creepy kind of way. It's like, this is who this person really is, okay? Then, look at here. I'm seeing you with the Ten of Pentacles energy. So in this Ten of Pentacles energy, I am seeing that you become financially abundant and stable and wealthy. And where like your finances and your money, it brings you satisfaction in the material aspect of life, okay? And that's because you were able to do the work within, so that you're able to experience the abundance externally, okay? You are being received in this energy as very calm, living a very soft life, and also very attractive. So good for you. Very happy for you. Then, I'm seeing that you will be in this Hanged Man energy, which means that you are not attached to feeling stuck or confined or restrained. Like, you're chill in any position in life, right? Because you're financially safe and comfortable. So then I'm seeing the Seven of Rods reversed, which is showing me that whatever would have usually tried to haunt you in the past in regard to your emotions, because you were able to grow from it and get honor out of it, and you lead like a more honorable and just and wiser life, you're no longer haunted by whatever happened in your karmic relationships in the past, because you understood that the assignment, you learned, you grew from it, you learned a lesson, and you grew in regard to asking your angels to handle it and trusting God, okay? So you're comfortable at this point in your life in the future, and you're not haunted by any conflicts or issues or challenges of the past. And then I'm also seeing that you will have to make a decision moving forward, okay, with this Two of Pentacles energy. And the reason why you have to make a decision now, you're financially stable, you're financially secure, you're financially abundant, though, well, in the future, that part in the future. And then you will be in this Eight of Swords energy. So the Eight of Swords energy is representing where all of the hard work and effort efforts that you're putting in to maintain the ability to speak life into yourself and others. It's work that you're doing within, right? And because you're considering the emotions, I'm laughing a little bit because I went through it in the past. The reason why you're going through this is because you're making space and time for the consideration of others' emotions. And it's not because they're abusing you or anything like that, or that you're a pushover, right? Aries, no Aries that I know is a pushover. It's because you're realizing and awakening to the fact that you care about these people and they show you. It's a difference if these people didn't show you, right? Yeah. Though they show you, and they always show you that they love you, that they prioritize you, that they care about you. And you have to set aside your selfish ways. And if you've been operating in selfish ways to make you feel more secure in your survival, then it seems like it's a lot of work. And like you're like restrained, or you know what I mean? Well, you will know what I mean when you get to that point in the future. And this is a problem that money can't solve. It's a God-sized thing. So what I can say is all of those emotions that you'll feel in regard to the fact that you are responsible for speaking life into yourself and others. And it's a really big responsibility. And it's a God-sized thing because it's a God-sized assignment. Because you want a God-sized favor. So if you need help with it, maybe you should go to God, right? And God is never separate from you. So you go within and you pray. And you keep praying. And you keep praying. And then you feel love. And you feel safe, and you feel protected, and you feel free. Because you're not just doing it for you. You're doing it for your love to be able to flow to those that you've made space and time for. Okay? So, listen to your intuition. It's the angel message. And I don't think that I could have said it any better. Okay? And I'm seeing that you'll understand why you're going through what you're going through. And that you'll also be diligent and hardworking and focused on succeeding at this, because this is what contributes to making you an honorable woman and an honorable man. Okay? And you know, this is a love call from within, because it shouldn't be temporary. It should be something that you constantly feel. God's energy. God's favor over your life. You should feel it in any and everything that, you know. So then, as far into your future as I can see, you will be in the Two of Rods energy. That Two of Rods energy is pretty much like you got the world in your hands. Got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. That kind of energy. Okay? So the Two of Rods is like that rod and thy staff is with me, and I also got the world in my hands. Okay? You could have like think about when you think about the world being in your hands, is literally the world in your hands. So at the same time, like I said in that Eight of Swords energy, it's all that you love, all that you care about, all that you value, that you have in your hands. And it depends on you to take care of it, to be gentle with it, to consider it. And a lot of times it's people in the flesh, right? It's your children. It's your parents that you're able to touch and hug. And it's also those in spirit, you know, the ones that you pray to, the ones that you pray about, the ones that you miss. That is the world in your hands. And the rods are the tools to be able to govern all of it. Okay. You're being received in this energy as not arrogant. Not conceited, not overconfident, not egotistical, not loud and boisterous. Though you are living a life of luxury. And like I said, you handle it all delicately. So to you, Aries, I do send you love and light and healing energy. And I thank you all so much for joining me. And I will see you all next time.